let's go into our next story. It's about the Signal chats, which a lot of you have probably heard of. There was a great tweet thread over the weekend from Cam Higsby, I believe his name is, who infiltrated some of these Signal group chats that activists have made to track ICE. It just completely goes to what J.D. Vance talked about when he was in town. He called what was going on in Minneapolis engineered chaos. And these chats have come to light that show us just how right he was about that. Because seriously, it's all engineered. It's all orchestrated. These protests are not organic, like we covered on this show. They're organized and they're well funded. So these Signal apps exist as a way for these activists to communicate with each other. Signal is an iPhone app that allows users to communicate through encrypted messaging, making messages more secure and harder to hack into, essentially. Well, recently, this journalist, Cam Higsby, released video and images of all of these chats after embedding himself in them. And seriously, they're so organized. It's crazy. So here are some of the elements of these messaging groups that he points out as being notable. The first is that everyone in these groups has a role and a location zone. So emojis help people quickly identify what role you play in the group. Examples include dispatch, mobile patrol, and license plate checker. We actually read a lot of these off in a previous episode, as you guys will remember. They utilize these in the Signal groups to know who does what. Cam Higsby says mobile patrols spend their entire shift searching for suspicious vehicles. When they find one, they send it to the group so that the plate checkers can compare with their database and see if it's a known federal vehicle, or if the patrol can make the confirmation so that the database can be updated. Dispatch runs a maxed out call all day telling protesters where ICE has been spotted and how they can be best impeded. Keep in mind,
that's a crime. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. Like, interfering with the federal investigation, federal agents' work, like, that's a crime immediately. So
that's the whole goal, is to commit crimes, is to impede the work of federal officers. So, again, I'm no lawyer, but, like, aren't we have RICO laws or something for this? I mean, what in the world? This seems like a whole conspiracy to me that needs to be broken down before something else horrible happens again. But I'll keep going. So, they also break people up in these groups into patrol zones, which are highly local areas for watchers to stake out and look for suspected ICE activity. The chats max out at 1,000 members by about midday and get deleted and recreated daily to avoid detection.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they also have like all these vetting processes that are very interesting. So he says I couldn't get into a chat, for example, of teachers who were involved in this because they needed specific verification. And of course, he couldn't provide that because he wasn't a teacher. So each occupation or shift position also asks protesters to undergo training. And it's totally unclear what the training entails other than numerous slides of instruction. They'll host these like webinars and things like that you're supposed to go through and read. But we also do know that these organizations host in-person events that teach people how to interfere with federal agents carrying out law enforcement. This is, of course, a crime, and everyone involved in these chats is therefore a criminal. All right, the other thing that they have in these Signal chats is license plate databases. Large part of what they do, and you've seen videos of people doing this probably. I think we played the one where this guy was just getting harassed by all of these vehicles, and he finally pulls over and says, "You guys, I'm not ICE. I'm just a guy," and is trying to prove to them that he's not an ICE officer when they didn't believe them.
And that would be so scary because, again, I just put myself in that guy's shoes. Like, I would be so concerned that the people harassing me are armed in some way with everything we've seen at these protests. Like, I'd be so scared.
Exactly. So then if a suspected ICE vehicle is seen in the location of a watcher, a dispatch call will go out to activate everyone in the area to swarm the vehicle, follow the vehicle, and then do whatever they can to impede the arrest of illegal aliens. There's also a whistleblowing element here where they alert people nearby to the presence of ICE. I don't know if you saw this, but like if you do 4 short blows, it's ICE is nearby, and 4 long blows. I don't know. They've got like a Morse code going on with the whistles. They also there's some people that did a press conference the other day and they all had whistles around their neck. Did you see that?
I did see that. Yeah.
The whistles are crucial.
Yeah, there's coffee shops like handing out free 3D printed whistles and stuff too. Keep seeing photos of this. What world are we living in?
As of Sunday, Fox News reported that the database of license plates had 2,933 records labeled confirmed ICE.
Like, that's doxing. Am I wrong? Like, how are there as of right now, like, no repercussions for any of the people in these chats who are literally calling out the specific vehicles that a federal agent is driving? Like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, it's a federal agent, but that's also an American. Like, they have rights. They don't...
I have no idea. Maybe it's not doxing because they're wrong so often. Like, this is terrible info. It's like they're trying to dox, but they're failing. They also have 455 cars labeled as abductors. I don't know, like, the difference between what those things are, but there you go. That's their database. Lastly, the salute system I found very interesting. They use this system called salute, all caps. It's like a little acronym that calls out the size of federal units, activity, locations, uniforms, times, and equipment that the ICE officers have. So they give the ICE chasers all of that information, and then they go and follow and confront the agents at their known locations. I thought this was interesting because this is a system they actually use in the military. Like, they have taken this directly from our military and now applied it to their little wannabe paramilitary operations on the streets of Minneapolis. I mean, it's like there is an actual militia that has formed in Minneapolis trying to fight the federal government. That is insane.
It's frightening.
It's frightening. And they have all of these operations in place. They've learned them because they've had since 2020 when what happened with George Floyd. They've implemented these things over the years, and now they're like a well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm. And well-funded, too.
And well-funded, exactly. Lots of the members of these groups use code names, but some people suspect and have determined that leaders within the DFL are actively participating in and maybe even leading some of these groups. We do know, of course, our Lieutenant Governor, Peggy Flanagan, has encouraged people to become legal observers. A reminder, this is not a legitimate term for anything. Legal observers. Grace was just asking.
I was just asking. I'm like, what is that?
She's like, wait, I thought that was more of a real thing. It's not a real thing at all. Legal observers is something they made up that nonprofits will go teach them to observe what's going on in these ICE arrests. But often what they really mean by observe, and you'll see in videos that have come out of the training, is impede on what the federal officers are doing. So here, let's play the clip. This is put together by Dustin Gragey. He put together this little clip of Peggy Flanagan encouraging people to go out, become observers. Go ahead, Isaac.
We were just in the community of Alexandria, where the event that we had that was similar to this one was interrupted by a bunch of phones going off and people having to leave because they are trained legal observers. Being trained legal observers, I don't know if anybody's gone through that training here. If you have, I appreciate it and would encourage you to do so.
Our neighbors are being disappeared. P.S. Without due process, it is just called kidnapping. Then show up and use your voice. Put your body on the line. And put your body on the line.
Put your body on the line. 2 people have been killed impeding federal activities.
Taking her advice.
Taking our Lieutenant Governor's advice. I don't know at what point it gets to, again, I mean, I'm speculating here, but like, how do you walk out of this without having any kind of charges, any repercussions filed against the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota? If Governor Walz resigned tomorrow, she would be our governor.
Yep.
For saying things like that. I mean, again, there are real world consequences to going around telling people that the federal administration that you live under is run by Nazis and that you have a moral imperative to go out and impede them.
That's exactly it. I mean, we now know that Alex Preddy, who was tragically killed this weekend when he interfered with ICE operations, was a member of the Kingsfield Signal ICE Watch Group. He was encouraged by people like Peggy Flanagan to go out there and put his body on the line. That's sick. I mean, it's sick. And really, I hope we see repercussions for them as well. But I mean, just going down the list, Representative Brad Tabke has encouraged people to join signal groups and is clearly in them himself, as he has posted live updates as to the whereabouts of ICE officers on X. Great. I don't know what he could possibly be doing that for, except for I don't know, maybe cause chaos, get people to go after them. Minnesota State Rep Alex Falconer bragged about being in one of these anti-ICE signal groups. Let's roll that tape now, Isaac.
I'm helping to lead the community response, rapid response network that we have, given any ICE situations. We've got a couple groups on the app Signal that we would love for you to join. Whether or not you want to be part of the resistance network, you can help us in a lot of ways by sending an alert that if you see any suspicious vehicles, any traffic, if you know of anybody that is being targeted, that's being detained, we have resources immediately available.
Gosh, it's just insane.
So there you go. I mean, and there's many more where that came from. We know there are more people. We know there are more people in the groups, leading the groups, using code names in the groups, actively speaking out about how they use these groups. And then people in these groups go out and end up in harm's way. And people all on the left and all over my social media and all over the internet today are trying to blame Trump, are trying to blame the federal government for the chaos that's going on in Minnesota. But the truth is, it's these well-funded, well-run resistance networks that are going out every day intentionally causing chaos that are causing the issues that we have here right now in Minneapolis. And they're being led and directed by the people that we have in leadership roles in this state.